Hello, everyone. This is Stephanie from Menus for All, and welcome to the Menus for All Foodie profiles. And today we know that you love hearing from people who are actually using the app in different situations and parts of the country. So I am so excited to have our guest with us today. So before I get started, let me just give you an introduction to myself. I am a 46-year-old biracial woman with brownish blackish hair that's braided back into a ponytail with a bunch of ring curls, so I feel sassy while I'm talking about my menus for all. And today I'm wearing a black top that has some whitish grayish lines on it in a kind of a swirl pattern to just kind of start off my Monday. And so today I am so excited to have our guest with us. Helen and I got the privilege of meeting our guest in Chattanooga at a recent NFB conference. And she had some really great things to say about the Menus for All app. And so we wanted to make sure we share those with you all. So I want to welcome her. Yay. How are you doing today?
Well, thank you. Thanks for letting me come on here. I'm excited.
So can you tell everyone, I don't want to steal any of your thunder because you have just this amazing story, but can you tell our guests who you are and kind of what you do in your day to day?
That might take too long. I am Jillian Ricks, and I am the owner of Jillian's Healing Arts Center, which is a holistic health center in Soddy, Tennessee, which is about 20 minutes away from Chattanooga. So it's just off of the main downtown there. And in the center, we offer massage therapy, yoga, belly dance, holistic health classes. We're going to start a hooping class, like hula hooping, which I'm really excited about. And just things like that, just to help your body, mind, and spirit just feel balanced and happy and joyful. Because I feel like, we're so stressed, like our country, we're always going. And I wanted to offer a place where people could come and just relax and have a little mini vacation from home and offer themselves more hope and more joy so they leave blooming with happiness. So that's my business. I'm also a mother of two and a wife, and I have 3 cats.
You're right, a very full day. And I
Yeah.
think, Jillian, I loved what you said about just giving people a place where they can be happy because you just exude that and you're just calm and peaceful. I remember that about meeting you. So I know
Thank
that that
you.
is exactly what your customers are getting in your new studio. So
Yes,
I'm
we're
sure that's
remodeling.
great.
Yes.
So when you're not working in the studio, what are some of the things that you like to do?
I like to go outside and be outside as much as possible. There's some pretty cool hiking places around the area that are, I'm going to say, blind friendly. They're not too rooty or rocky. And so I like going there. And my dad has a tandem bike, and so we go bike riding. And then just hanging out with my kids. So we do movie nights, and they just recently got into DM, so Dungeons and Dragons. And so letting them run the progress and the campaigns has been hilarious because they're 11 and 9, so it's been a lot of fun. So that's what we do.
And I bet after all that tandem biking and hiking and the campaigns, there's some time for some food, isn't there?
Yes,
Go-
always.
So sometimes it's nice as a mother to maybe not have to cook and go out to eat. What do you
Yes,
think?
yes, it is. Yes, yeah.
Now, as someone with blindness or visual impairment, how have you accessed restaurant menus in the past?
Oh, I hadn't. um, I would have to rely on whoever I was with to read me the menu. Um, and which is fine. Like everyone I've ever been out to eat with, they don't mind, but they get they get distracted because they're trying to pick out what they want to eat themselves, you know? And so then I have to
Hmm.
be like, well, can you go back and reread the entrees for me? And they're like, oh yeah, right, yeah, okay, here, you know, and then they get distracted. So it takes a little longer to order. So that was my past experiences.
And so now, in about a year ago, you were introduced to the
Mhm.
Menus for All app. And so, what has it been like compared to what you've had previously using the app for ordering purposes?
It it okay, so like what I feel like I told you when I downloaded it, I didn't realize I needed it until I had it because when I went to like the first restaurant I went to, I don't remember what it was, but when I was looking through the menu, I was like, hey, my husband never read me that entree. Oh, I want this one, you know? And so it was a Thai restaurant. And so I was like, oh, I can get this instead. And then also what I noticed is it gives me more freedom to talk to the wait staff because before, like, I would have to ask for the sides or I wouldn't know the salad dressings. Whereas now I have the ability to be like, I want this salad dressing, but is it done with mayonnaise or whatever? Like it gives me more opportunity to get what I want because I know what's actually on the menu.
So, how does your husband feel about being put out of a job since he's not
Oh,
the
he
official
loves
menu?
it. No, he loves it. He's glad. He because he's then helping the kids, and then it allows me to help the kids more efficiently too. Because I can be like, "Hey, did you see they have chicken?" Or "Hey, did you see they have salmon?" And then they would, and then you know, because kids get distracted because they're coloring with the crayons or whatever, and so then and then they go, "Oh yeah, they do have salmon." I'm like, "Yeah, you should get that," you know. So it's helped like with the family dynamic as well. So he can help the kiddos and make sure they're okay, and then I can help if I need to. And then he doesn't, you know, he doesn't have to worry so much about me anymore, which is cool.
It's nice just being mom, not being
Yeah,
an extra burden at the table, isn't it?
right. Yeah, I
Yep.
agree.
I
Yes.
understand that one perfectly. And so, what's the best thing that you have ordered that you have found on the Menus for All app? What's your new favorite go to?
Oh, oh goodness. Well, um, okay, there's two. There's Aubrey's, which is in Hickson. It's pretty close to us, and then Panera Bread. So I'm gluten free. It's so I had to give up Panera Bread, and I never went until I got the Menus for All app, and I was actually. I mean, this is a longer story. I don't know how much you want to hear, but like I was in a situation where I was around people I didn't know very well at all. And Panera Bread was the closest thing. And I was like, well, I can't eat there. And I was like, well, maybe. So I pulled up the app and they have these grain bowls that are delicious. And they're like with feta cheese and like beans. And oh, it's so delicious. But I didn't even know they existed. And so that was really cool.
So I understand. I've had one of those myself, and again, I didn't know it was in the app, or they offered
Yeah.
it until I found it in the app one day. So
Yeah.
there's always a surprise, isn't there?
Yeah.
And so, if you were going to tell people who were considering downloading the Menus for All app, but maybe don't know if it's a fit for them, what would you say?
I would say go ahead and do it and try it because you will feel like, why didn't I download this before? Because the app is so easy to use. Because I was a little worried about the efficiency, but it's so easy. And then what's really cool is even as you travel, because we went on vacation and I was like, well, I'll pull up the app. I don't know what's around. And it showed me all the restaurants around. And so that was cool. So then I was even faster than my husband, who was like doing DoorDash or Google Eats or whatever. And I was like, well, hey, there's a sushi place just next door. And he's like, what? I was like, yeah, it's right. We can walk, you know? And so it just brings more, I don't know, freedom and more flexibility and more independence. And it's really cool. It's a great app. It's easy to use. And I kind of want my husband to get it, even though he doesn't need it, because it's easier than most apps out there.
There you go. Well, you all have heard it straight from Jillian and Soddy Daisy. Not only is the Menus for All app good for her, but her husband and helping her be a better mom, even while she's at home and out traveling. So we wish you the very best with your studio. Hopefully, the next time we're in Chattanooga, we'll get a chance to kind of sit down and share some of those meals with you
That'd be
using the
awesome.
Menus for All app. All right.
Yeah.
Bon appetit, guys.